Good morning, travelers. Hold on, let me turn my music down. Listening to some Jazz Masters by Paul Hardcastle. We are, I don't even know what today is. I think it's the 4th. So we're coming up on the eclipse. And I had mentioned the other day that I was going through a 12th house Pluto transit. For those of you who have your charts, or for those of you who have created your charts on astro.com, go in and take a look at your natal chart using the Koch house system and see what house does Capricorn sit. This is the first house, the second house, the fifth house. That's going to show you natally where Pluto is sitting. Okay. And that might be where you might be struggling in some areas. He's at 17 Capricorn today. There are lots of Pluto then look across wherever Pluto's sitting. Cancer's going to be on the opposite side. We have a lot of Capricorn Cancer transits going on this month. I'm going to be working on the weekly horoscopes for you. So then what I want you to do is to take that same chart and then change the house system to 0 Aries. That's going to put Capricorn on your 10th house of work and career. Okay. And you might be able to see some correlation between where he sits, Pluto sits natally, and where he's actually sitting now. The 10th house, which is normally ruled by Capricorn, that's your MC. That's the highest point in your chart. So this is what you consider to be your highest achievement. For some people, that's their career. For others, that's volunteer work. For some, it's their family. It's their friends. What does it take to get from where you are now to where it is you want to go? And what is your highest achievement? What do you, when you look back over your life, what do you really say? What can you really say that you've done? And what can you really be proud of? Okay, something that you really, really, really wanted. Typically, the MC, in one respect, is your highest spiritual achievement. Okay, so I have been I've just been kind of keeping my head down. And that's usually what the 12th house is all about. It's about behind the scenes, hidden things. So I've just been trying to keep my head down and focus on building up my website, getting stuff out to you guys, trying to bring you the best product that I can bring. But all of a sudden, it's like a light bulb came on, because that's also the house of hidden enemies. And so the house of self-undoing. It's actually, the 12th house is the natural house of Neptune and Pisces. And so suddenly it's like a light bulb just came on. And all of the things, I think Pluto went into Capricorn in 2008, and he will be in that sign until 2023. Okay. And if you've read anything about Pluto, he is really, I think, the most feared non-planet planet because he got demoted in 2006, I believe. He got demoted. So he is probably the most feared planet that there is, but you really should not fear him. There's great power in Pluto. You just have to be able to figure out how to access it. Okay. And make sure that you're not manipulating people or in power struggles with people, and you're not crossing the boundaries of doing whatever it takes to get where you're going. All right. Because if you do that, it's going to come back on you karmically. And so it really explained this transit. Like I said, this morning, it's like the light bulb came on, and I all of a sudden I realized all of the things that had happened to me, what they were really all about thus far. Now, I got till 2023, so I'm sure there's going to be some more crap coming up, but that is, be that as it may. Now that I understand that, Pluto is empowerment. It really is, but you have to be really, really cautious how you use that power. And if you can find out by looking at your charts between the two house systems and take a look at what else is sitting. If you've got something at, he's at 17 Capricorn, look over in the house of Cancer and see if there's anything in the house of Cancer at 17 degrees. Okay. If you've got anything else sitting in the conjunct, let's say you have Pluto at 17 Capricorn and then you got Mars at 17 Capricorn. Well, that's a explosive combination because Pluto rules Scorpio and Scorpio is ruled by Mars. So it's kind of like a double whammy kind of a thing. So you might be able to pick up on a few things. Now, the thing about, for me, in terms of a 12th house transit, and even if, you don't have any planets in the 12th house necessarily, okay, then there are going to be other areas, but Pluto can give you great insight into those psychological things that may be holding you back in that particular area or what you might be struggling with. But you really have to be willing to take a good hard look at those things. And you really have to be willing to face those issues. And through facing whatever those things are, you gain great power. Okay. So with that being said, I've been telling you guys, I don't read for myself. I don't pull cards, but once I got that information, I literally got up out of bed at, I don't know, 2 a.m. And I thought, this is weird. It's not a full moon. It's just a new moon eclipse, but and I did a grand tableau for myself, Lenormand. I don't offer that as a product because I'm not that confident in it yet, but even though I've been doing it for a couple of years. And the last 4 cards down can offer a very, very powerful message. And my last 4 cards down under the grand tableau was the key, the stars, the woman, and the past, the crossroads. And this tells me that I am at coming to a fated point. A decision has to be made about something. Now I'm going to have to go back. I snapped a picture of it, and I'm going to have to go back and see what information I can glean around whatever this choice may be about. I still haven't figured it out yet. I'm also going to try to go back into my Akashic records to see if I can get anything out of that. Not necessarily to know what's coming up on the other side, but how I should deal with whatever is coming. I've stopped wondering what is coming up on the other side. But I think that goes back to what I was telling you guys some time ago about finding out where you are in the Akashic records. Typically when people come for an Akashic records reading, sometimes they're kind of stuck at the 3rd dimensional. They might be at 4th dimensional. Sometimes they come in and they're at 5th dimension, but they're still struggling. And then suddenly, after you get your clearing through the Akashic records, you'll find yourself at the 6th dimensional level. And once you get to the 6th dimensional level, you don't even deal with psychics anymore. You just kind of wait around to see. So that's why I have stopped reading for myself. You only will read for yourself when you really, really need an answer. But most of the time, it will take you to that next level. And I don't know, for some of you, that could be a good thing. For some of you, maybe it's not. Only you can make that determination for yourself. So with that being said, I'm going to ask, I have the Prismavision Tarot, and I'm going to ask about, this Pluto and Capricorn transit. I'm sure everybody else is doing the eclipse readings, blase, blase, blase. But I want to really take a look at Pluto and Capricorn, because I think that, here's a main example. You always hear me talk about what happens globally affects you locally. Well, our president is brick by brick dismantling our democratic structure. He's shrinking the size of government. He's cutting out departments. He's cutting out jobs. He's cutting off funding. And remember, I always talk to you about Pluto is big, major changes in government. By the time this transit is over, Pluto and Capricorn, our government's not going to look the same. And at the same time, our finances, our banking system's not going to be the same. In 2020, Uranus moves from Aries into Taurus. So this is not a doom and gloom kind of prediction, but just to be mindful and to pay attention to what is happening on a global scale, because eventually that will come down to hit you in your wallet. Whether that has to do with, let's say, for a long time there was a drought in the Midwest, and farmers were losing cows. Well, milk goes up. You got 4 or 5 kids that drink milk, that shit's gonna hit you in your pocket. Okay, so pay attention to things like that. Let's go ahead. Pluto in the 12th house can also suddenly become aware that people are working against you behind the scenes and you don't even know it. But Pluto in the 4th house also affords you protection while they're doing that. So that kind of means that whatever they're trying to do behind the scenes don't really work. So let's pull the rest of the cards. Let's turn these over. 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Wands. Wow. And the Death card. That's a big change. That cat. Let me go see what she's doing. 1 second. God, she's always stealing my pins. My pen. She's always stealing my pens. What are you doing? Give me my pen. Jesus, I just opened this. Pens and pencils. And she'll jump up on anything to get them. I don't know what it is. And she got like 50 billion cat toys. Okay. Sorry about that. Let's look at the rest of the cards. 9 of Chalices. The Hierophant. The Emperor. Wow. Wow. I also need this table looks smaller for some reason. The Ace of Pentacles. Isn't that something? Wow. The 9 of Wands. And the 5 of Swords. I knew that card was going to come up. For some reason in this deck, that card never goes away. Never. There's the 6 of Pentacles. Can you see that? That's a lovely card, is it not? Now, I don't know what it is about this 5 of Swords. I've had this deck for over a year, and no matter when I read for it or who I read, this card always comes up. And I spent about 10 minutes pre-shuffling this card as I meditated over it. I have 3 major arcanas. Death, the Hierophant, and the Emperor. Now, just those 3 cards alone, that's our Pluto card. But these three cards together they speak to, especially with the Hierophant and the Emperor, they speak to a lot of power, but it's a structured, rigid kind of a power system base. The Hierophant represents institutions, corporations, government, religions, like organized religions. It can represent a teacher. We're looking at the military. We're looking at universities and colleges. Any place there is a hierarchical system where one person at the top or one group of people at the top disseminate the knowledge down to other people. Okay. As a teacher, this is not the guru aspect. It is the aspect of the mentor. Now, I have two representations of that because the emperor can also be a mentor individual. As a profession, the emperor is going to be over law enforcement. He may be a police officer, a soldier. He may work in a correctional facility. He may work for the FBI or the CIA, but he's going to be somebody at the top, okay? He's going to be someone who's extremely, I don't want to say, he's direct and to the point, but the thing is that the emperor is more than the king, okay? The emperor knows pretty much exactly what the balance is, how to get people to do what he wants them to do, in the sense that he knows how to be both logical but also compassionate perhaps at the same time, unless that is he's operating from his negative side, in which case he can be somebody who's like it's my way or the highway kind of a guy. But then the Hierophant can be somebody who is rigid and dogmatic. So we're looking at basically kind of similar energies, but both upright and negative. We're going to take a look at that with the Sibilas. Now, this rules Venus, and Venus is about beauty, love, fairness, harmony. She's about money, bank accounts, but these are your personal possessions. Now, with the emperor didn't become the emperor by giving crap away. You know what I'm saying? His job is to increase his holdings and his territories, okay? Sometimes you got to go to war to do that, right? Okay, but then again, sometimes you can offer a concession. That's what I mean about that energy of the emperor. He knows how to be both logical, but can also be a real asshole. Okay, but that's how he became the emperor. You see, now typically he rules the father. He's known as the father in the tarot. He's the archetype of the father. And here with the Hierophant, the two things, this really speaks to me about some kind of mentor type of individual or situation that revolves around that. All right. The two tens say that there's a career change either coming for the better. These are definitely ends of a cycle here. 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Wands. So something new. But in order for something new to be reborn, to be born, something old has to die. Okay, it's the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. It's regeneration. I want to take a look at the other meaning for you of the two tens here. Right, it says the ending of a relationship or phase in the relationship. And I think in one aspect that is true. Here we have the 9 of chalices, otherwise known as the 9 of cups. And the imagery of this is a guy sitting on a park bench or bench out. And I don't know if you can see those, there are 9 cups that are going in an arc here. The arc kind of follows that sun going down or rising, whichever you want to look at. But no matter which deck you use in tarot, the 9 of cups is associated with the wish card. It's associated with the wish. And I can see in some respect for some of you with this 10 of Pentacles, That's the end of a chapter. The tens also kind of represent, what do you call it? Um, I lost my train of thought because something else just came to me. This Ten of Pentacles, um, I saw this, but at the moment, at the time that I saw it, it didn't pay any, I didn't. This is some kind of family related issue. Okay. Um, and what I'm picking up in one respect is that it's almost like the cards are saying that, not necessarily that it's been a burden, but it's like your the responsibility to this particular unit, this group of people that you have considered like family or family, that is coming to an end. It is coming to an end because someone is making the choice now. Something has come in for them. There's a rebirth happening where a wish has come about for them. There's that opportunity. See that? The door is open. The portal way is open. Now, this has occurred in the past. Something has come to them in the past. And it is something I would dare say, in one respect, that they may have even manifested up. Okay? Why? Because I'm looking at these tens across the top. You see, look, this in effect is a 4. 1 and 3. He's related to 4. So he's related to static situations or situations that are stable. So in one respect, I think someone has come to a place where they know that all of the effort and the hard work that they've put in now has put that unit, that group, that family in a stable position. So what do I do about that? Do I continue doing that, or do I do something new? In order for me to come in with something fresh and new, I'm going to have to do something fresh and new. And I feel that in one respect, this is really about the person gaining some kind of realization for themselves. Okay. Here's the Hierophant. Remember, it rules Venus. And remember, we're talking about fairness and balance and harmony. Well, if you've been dedicating all of your time and effort to other people, that means that you have been really neglecting your own self. Okay. Venus co-rules both the second house, and it co-rules both Taurus and Libra. All right. For some of you, this could be having a Libra rising. That's how do I have fairness and balance and harmony within myself, but still be able to do that within a group context. Okay. Relationships. I feel though that there is some kind of, there's a block here. It's a block in the center, the Hierophant. Now, the Hierophant can represent having two different quote unquote religious beliefs, okay? Or it can be having two different ideas of what mine is versus yours or ours, because of the two different houses that they co-rule. Now, what's interesting is I'm getting repeater numbers here. I've got 2 10s, I've got 2 9s, and in effect, I have 2 4s. Okay, so I've given you the 2 10s. Now, when I started, I said I lost my train of thought. The 2 9s. Nines are, in a sense, a way of about coming to a completion. You're about to come to a completion of something. It is the number of isolation, solitude, reflection. And I think you guys have heard me speak about having that eclipse that happened on my birthday. And I said, this has been just the loneliest year for me. which will happen after an eclipse. If you got an eclipse on your birthday and it, um, on the day of your solar return, then that following year, your life, it becomes different. And I can't explain it any other way than that. It has not been a time where I have felt lonely and isolated in the sense that I was sad about it. There have been times where, I struggled with some things that it really would have been great to have somebody to talk to, an ear, a sounding board, but that wasn't there. So that meant that I had to go within, like the hermit, and work that shit out for myself. So, 2 9s, one of you needs to spend time alone, and perhaps that has happened. We see this 5 of Swords. I don't know. The other one says, and I didn't give you the, I'm going to give you the second meaning. This was the end of a relationship or a phase of a relationship, right? Here's the second meaning of the 2 10s. Remember I said, yeah, it tells of a career change for the better. Now, the 2 9s, one of you needs to spend more time alone. The other one is, I'm going to take a look at to see if it tells me something being by the Hierophant. Yeah, that's right. 2 9s appearing in a reading suggest a house move and or change of address. I would dare say that some of you might be moving due to work and career. Now, the funny thing about this is that it's almost like the cards are saying to me that some of you are going to be moving for work and career, but it's going to bring about, quote unquote, a new family for you. For some of you, you might be asked to move, or you might be moving to join another family. And in other words, now your MC is going to change. You may give up what you've been working for all, your whole life, and you may get married and you may end up becoming a house husband or a housewife. Huh? What is the value in that? Now, someone's running away from this card of family. I don't know if you can see. You can see the leg right there. There's the head. See him? And he's blended in with the tree. But he's got his head down. He doesn't even know that he's even though he's running away from something, he's running into a complete change. This 9 of Wands, see that person, and they're hidden out, and they're looking at that portal. What do they do? What do they do? Do they come out of the woods? Do they come out of hiding? Do they come out of the shadows and step through that portal way? Now, what's funny is that this is somebody running away from, or not running away, but leaving a situation that's been really hell, I would say, in one respect. The 5 of Swords, is really a card of strife and fighting, but it's brought on by outside influences. And I think that Death over the Emperor says give up what you think you have control over. And so this could very much, most definitely, a karmic lesson about a change in what you believe. And if you can change those dogmatic, rigid belief systems, there's a brand new door opening for you. It's almost like the cards are saying someone is running away from perhaps what their idea of this group or family thing represents. And the more they try to run away from it, the more they face this. It's like an annihilation of something. It could be of the self. But again, this Nine of Cups tells me that this is something that they have manifested themselves. So this could really be someone who's running away from, these are two Wands cards here. I'm going to take a look at what the meaning of these two wands are telling me. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to give you the meanings of the cards, okay? And maybe that might even help you a bit. Let me read you what this guy who made these cards says about the Pentacles. Because we have 1, 2, 3. There's a 6 over here. And the truth of the matter is there's only one Swords card. And so this tells me that there's still either some mental anguish going on, or there is some miscommunication going on. All right? Here he says that a twofold symbol, the pentacles function as both coins and seeds. By planting what little you have in the earth, you ensure a profitable existence in the future. There are many rewards for investing yourself in the world, not the least of which is monetary. But there also might be a richness of family, or the satisfaction of giving your excess to a person who has none. Whatever the treasure, it is clear that it is firmly rooted in the physical, tangible world. Delight in the earth and its abundance. It is your home. Okay, remember, I always tell you that the coins are about the physicality of doing something. Okay, so here's a 10 of Pentacles. Your hard work and dedication have reached their full potential. You have seen your endeavors blossom in full. Now you need only to harvest the fruits of your labor. They will be abundant for many years to come. Enjoy earthly comforts as they are richly deserved. This is not the time to begin earth-moving enterprises. Instead, focus on maintaining what you already have achieved. You have devoted yourself to the cultivation of the earth. Let her reward you in kind. But we see kind of somebody's like running away from that. Let's look at this 10 of Wands. Let me read to you what the Wands say. The magic of the Wands. The wands are the suit of creation. They follow the journey of an idea from inception to manifestation. If you intend to safeguard a vision into self-sustaining vitality, you must show ambition, determination, and an ability to harmonize with others. But above all, have faith in yourself. Use your burning passion to forge something wonderful within. Whatever you make will be wrought with traces of you, spreading your influence out into the universe. This is your chance to change the world for the good. Ten of Wands. After a harrowing journey fraught with danger and conflict, you've accomplished what you set out for. But take caution from the furrowed brow of our hero. Remember, he's running away. His hard work has not brought him more happiness, merely more labor. This is the downside of leadership. When you have proven your mettle, you are given free rein and greater responsibilities. You may be overburdened, eager to shed the weight. Will you carry on in your endeavor or yield control of it to others? Which is best for you? And remember I said, it's like this person is running away from this. But the more he tries to run, that's a control card. It's 2 10s. And for indeed, there may have already been this change, this rebirth, this particular death. Sometimes the more, and that's how Pluto works. The more you try to run away from whatever it is you fear, the bigger the issue becomes. Okay? 9 of Chalices. Pluto is going to get your attention no matter what. The suit of Chalices contains all the affairs of the heart. Love, friendship, loss, exuberance. These are but some of the many emotional journeys depicted in this changeable suit. They play themselves out on the banks of a river, its meandering path mirroring the fluidity of feelings. When you draw many chalices in a reading, listen carefully to your heart and intuition. Lucid, uh, hold on. Lucid, they may have divined more than you may realize. So here we have the 9. The 9 of chalices is all about satisfaction. Some ongoing cycle is nearing its completion, and you are about to be fulfilled and at peace. Like a sunset, this will not last forever, but its evanescent beauty makes it all the more precious. Treasure this moment, for its memory will bring you warmth on gray, sunny days. Isn't that lovely? Now, there's Hierophant. The Hierophant is like a constellation, imaginary lines drawn around the chaos of the cosmos that imbue the night sky with meaning. We take comfort knowing that our ancestors gazed up uh, at the same stars, the same stories. But clinging too tightly to tradition can stave off the immutable law of nature's changeability. When you receive this card, examine whether the energy of the Hierophant is guiding or merely thwarting you. Okay. The Hierophant stands among the stars, clutching scrolls and holding his hand in a sign of benediction. He stands for enduring tradition, the cultures and beliefs that have hewn history into shape. He invites us to conform, to immerse ourselves in a long-standing man-made system, be it through education, employment, or religion. To play a part in his machine, we must sacrifice some modicum of personal freedom on his altar. Is it worth it? Only you can decide. I've skipped the death card, didn't I? Let me go back. This can be a frightening card to receive at first. Loss and change are inevitable and often quite painful. Brace yourself to shed something that seems integral to your life, but inevitably out of its remains will grow something more beautiful and more adapted to your needs than you could have anticipated. Pulling the card of death is just a sign of forthcoming renewal. Though it loses its familiar form, that which passes away only breaks down into simpler components and dissipates out into the universe. The Emperor. I had Emperor. When you exude the Emperor's energy, you might naturally fall into a position of power. Take care to use your increased influence for good. Try not to become superior to those around you, but rather foster them in a way that allows for growth. By building others up, you improve the quality of life for your community as a whole. The Emperor challenges you to become a greater version of yourself by imposing rigidity and structure on yourself or allowing others to do it for you. You are encouraged to grow in meaningful ways, maximizing your time and potential. By exerting control over your surroundings, you become master of your own destiny. And I feel that either now that I've read that, it's either someone who doesn't want to take the responsibility or it's someone who's trying to figure out how to shed that responsibility, but do it in a manner that there's not going to be a lot of damage done, right? Ace of Pentacles. When you see a tantalizing opportunity, take it. This card promises great material rewards for projects undertaken, particularly if there's something novel or unexplored. Though you may not be able to see over the wall and divine what you are truly choosing, dare to take the road less traveled. You may find that it pays off in the long run. Rise up to the challenge and begin your new adventure. Remember, I keep telling you, there's a portal way open here. And I do feel that it's coming about because someone's going to have to change fundamentally um, their belief system surrounding whatever it is that needs to change. Okay? 9 of Wands. This is the one I want to take a look at. The good news is that your idea is finally starting to take off and no longer needs your constant care and attention to survive. In fact, it's so successful, it's quickly growing beyond your control. As daunting as it may seem, you must throw yourself into maintaining it, as there will be many unforeseen challenges to monitor and train. Your final test is overcoming the vision itself. And that's what they're running away from. That's the problem right there. Okay? Confrontation is inevitable and can even be an honorable and upfront way to achieve one's ends. The two locked in combat are practiced warriors of this art, and their baleful dance pays tribute to the intricacies of strife and competition. The Five of Swords, however, encourages you to lay down your weapons. When you pacify your anger, you may be surprised to notice a different path, that of equanimity and transcendence. Let yourself be soothed by following the butterfly. Now, the butterfly rules Psyche. Is her symbol is the asteroid Psyche. Um, if Psyche presents as a person, it's going to be somebody that you have a very, very strong mental and psychic connection to. It could also represent someone who is psychic. It could represent your psychic ability. But there is, what's interesting is here is Psyche and Venus. And Venus was very jealous of Psyche. Psyche was, Cupid fell in love with Psyche, and Venus was so jealous of her beauty that she had Cupid trick Psyche to make her think that she was actually in love with the monsters. Cupid told her, keep your eyes closed, don't look at me, and he only would visit her when she slept. Okay. But then her sisters, Psyche had sisters, and so her sisters were also so jealous that she was in love with this, and they said, well, you know what? Go while he's asleep and take a look at him so you can see. And so when she went to see him, when she got there, she realized he really wasn't a monster. He was quite beautiful to look at, and they fell in love. So sometimes there's another story going on there. We're going to look at that. This could be, you might be dealing with someone who has some kind of, maybe in their mind, maybe they don't feel attractive, or maybe they feel, I don't know, whatever, out of control. Their outer shell is this Hierophant and this Emperor kind of a thing. Maybe they overcompensate in the real world for whatever they feel is a lack. So in a sense, the whole thing about the monster versus the beautiful lover thing, it could be that some of you have met somebody who, no matter what you say, no matter what you do, the person is still there, if that makes any sense. They may not be there physically, so to speak, but they are there. And I think if that's the case, that is really bringing up a challenge for you. It's showing you something. It's showing you a different version of love and beauty and harmony. And so everything that you thought you knew, or everything that you believed in, or everything that you were taught, everything that you were read, is changing. That person has come to change your life in whatever way that means. Six of Pentacles. After many struggles and painful learning experience, life has granted you the luxury of excess. When this happens, don't be greedy and keep the wealth to yourself. Give freely, never forgetting your own hard times that have brought you to this day. Alternatively, if you are in need of charity, Don't be too proud to receive it. Often, life will restore its equilibrium without your consent when you are least prepared. Therefore, if you find someone willing to tip the scale back in your favor, don't hesitate. You will pay back the debt in full when you're better off. Now, this could be in a literal sense, but each suit has a spiritual meaning as well. And to me, this is about the value of sharing and giving. What you have, and it is about, you see, that's a reciprocal thing that they're sharing that, okay? They're at the end of that wall. Look at this. There's the ace and there's the 2. You see, it makes a story. There's the door. Somebody's sitting on the fence about something. Well, here comes the 6. That's not the full story. We've skipped all the way over to the 6. This was underneath. So I think that this opportunity to, I don't even know how to put it. There's been an opportunity presented here. I'm gonna look at this 2 of Pentacles. I think that's a lovely depiction, the way he did that. Sitting on the fence. Just sitting on the fence. Life's imbalance is its greatest strength. To the man that masters the back and forth motion, the perpetual movement propels him into a steady, productive rhythm. Keep it all together by not paying too much attention to one thing. Accept that everything has its time and its place, and it is up to you to decide when it's time to move onwards. But even to not make a decision, even to sit on the fence, is a decision. It's a choice. Now, what I want to look at, I said that 9 of Wands, right? In one respect, it's like there's a leadership role, so to speak, in one respect, but then somebody's running away from another kind of leadership role. It's really weird. Not that they're not responsible. That's not what I'm getting. It's a fear. And these are 2 Martian energies here. The old co-ruler, the old ancient ruler is Mars. So this is a Pluto-Mars thing here. That's a control issue. That's why I say it's somebody not wanting to, or they're having difficulty with either wielding power or giving it up. And I don't think they've been able to find the balance between that yet. Sometimes when you give power and control over to other people, it empowers you to do that. Why? Because then you can do more. You can have more. You can be more. You can live a bigger, better life. But then the idea that if I succeed that power or give that power over puts me in a place of powerlessness. It doesn't, not necessarily, but that's the fear. Okay? That's the fear. And maybe what you've been taught about power and control in terms of relationships, no matter what kind, you need to rethink that. Yeah? Hold on one second. I want to see if this is my song right here. Hold on. No. Okay. Now, let's look at this 9 of Wands. This is an interesting, and then I'm going to look at the 6 of Pentacles. Then go ahead and be thinking of a, and what's funny with these 2 cards? Even though that's a ram, you can look at that as Pluto in Capricorn. because Capricorn's a goat. Ain't goats related to rams? Ain't that much difference between the two. What's a ram but a mountain goat, right? So, wow. Now, let me. Holy crap! Hold on one second. Hold on. I forgot. I was starting my dinner, and God, I lost so much weight. My pants keep falling down. Hope y'all don't see my butt. What? Y'all don't come to my channel to see my butt. Okay. Might get more subscribers that way, but it wouldn't be the kind I wanted, right? Oh my God. I want to look at this Ten of Pentacles. And then I'm going to tell you what cards have come down on this Nine of Wands. Depending on what comes out on this Ten of Pentacles, I'm either going to look at the 6 or I'm going to look at the 2. Okay? So just bear with me. I think well, that's kind of telling me two things. Now, isn't this interesting? Isn't this interesting? All right. Okay, here we go. On the Nine of Wands, what is that? It was saying that, the thing that you've done, it's successful, the work that you've done already, yada, yada, yada. But it's a Nine of Wands. And the Nine of Wands does say, if we look at it from the Rider-Waite, there was 8 things that you had going on in the back. Maybe something, maybe you know how the 8 wands come through the air like this in the Rider-Waite deck. So maybe this just something just came out of the blue at you, but it came almost like it was already an 8. It wasn't something that you had to start from the beginning with the wand or get up to the 4. It came fully fledged at you as an 8. Okay? And whatever little bit of effort that you put into it, boom, it just took off. Okay? The Lamika, the relationship, the confidant, the person you can trust. The Letterato, the man of science, the man of letters, the discovery. Now, I'm not exactly sure if this is telling me that there was some kind of message that came. That's not, no. No. It's a discovery of, and the person is in between these two things. Now, again, the energy is running this way. So I'm not exactly sure if this is the same person. And it's like the person doesn't want this letterato in the center. He wants this. But the Nine of Wands says that that's already kind of a fully fledged thing. Okay? I don't know if that makes any sense. I'm just giving it to you like they're telling me. Here's the Ten of Pentacles. Speranza, the hope. The mercante, the negotiations, the contracts. But now I have La Vecchia Signora. Now, to me, this is either someone looking to their retirement. Maybe they have gotten to a point where they know they're going to be okay. Now they're looking to venture out into something else. Maybe it has to do with relatives, older relatives, what have you. Maybe this is somebody thinking about what they're going to do as they get older, nearing the end of life. I don't know. Sometimes when you have transits across the fourth house, that is also known as the end of life house as well. So that would be a metaphorical change of that to a literal, okay? It is, in a sense, sort of like a second 12th house is the ending and the beginning of life because it rules mothers. That is the birth, that's related to birth, and cycles of birth, but it's also the end of life house as well. Now, I don't know if this is someone who as well has maybe perhaps been supporting an older relative or seeking advice from an older relative about what to do now. Okay. Now I looked at the Two of Pentacles. Somebody's sitting on the fence. And this is why I was laughing, because they're sitting on the fence waiting for their ship to come in, or longing for a ship that has come in already. But there's the treasure. It's your ship has come in. Okay? The ship has come in. The gifts have already arrived. So in effect, the person is sitting on the fence because it's like they think that there's something better. Who knows? Maybe there is. But then the question becomes, what value does the new thing, and I think that could be the problem, is the value in the new thing that you're looking for, or is the value in the way you think about something? Okay, that's still not coming out right. The last card down with this is the desperate jealousy. Okay, that's excessive attachment to a situation. Now, I don't know what the hell that card's talking about. Things are in the balance. There's another Two of Coins. Here's the Seven of Swords, which in effect is kind of mirroring that excessive attachment. Remember, we're being asked to lay our swords down. Isn't that something? It's another Six of Coins. Now, I don't know why, in one respect, these cards are mirroring what they're telling me here. I'm not quite exactly sure what that meaning is. And maybe this is the thing that changes, because 5 bring changes. Let's just look at that. but it would be a change in thought, a change in communication, a change in beliefs. That's what the swords represent. Thoughts, communications, beliefs, ideas. Thoughts fly through the air. When you think a thing, you can create a thing. Yeah? In order for anything that has ever come into existence, someone had to first think of it. The stanza, there it is. There's the communication that's been lacking. There's nobody in the room. The La Namica. Now, I don't know if this is saying that there's been an argument. This definitely, it's like someone acting in secret. The woman who acts in secret. The rival or the enemy. So this could be a past life issue thing that you're dealing with. It could be another person that you're dealing with. But it could also be that you being your own worst enemy. And it reads like that rival and that enemy, there's a fight because that rival and that enemy or that past life individual or you yourself, however that are thinking about moving on. Okay? This is great foresight and planning. Now, if this is some kind of issue where this could be somebody who has outthought you a few steps ahead, I don't know. Unbeknownst to you. There's the stanza card. All right. Please formulate one question. Perhaps the angel answer will, oh wow, it's already gone over an hour. Sometimes it's like that. I just kind of get in the zone and read, and the time just kind of gets away. All right. You have comments, you can come over to the website where it says shout outs and comments. Please don't come over and ask me, tell me about your situation and ask me what I think is going to happen. That requires a personal reading. This is a general reading, and these messages are not going to resonate with everyone. I do them so that, you know, maybe sometimes there's something that comes up that makes you think about something that you're dealing with. So that's why I always say take what you can and disregard what you cannot. But I think that even if this is not a situation you recognize, the cards have some kind of nuggets of truth in it for everybody. You just have to be willing to kind of view it and try to see what fits and what doesn't in your situation. Oh, one other thing. I meant to change it last night. The astrology package, the tutorial thing that I'm not the tutorial, but the astro reading, where I'm going to walk you through reading the transits and stuff. That comes with the chart if you don't already have one, okay? So. And what is trust if it is not faith? Of course, of course, of course. Remember I said it was a manifestation? There's the magician. There he is. Let's read. This is a time for trust. Sometimes there is no yes or no to a question. There are situations where we are better served by not knowing what is to come, so that the miracle can unfold before our very eyes. Like children opening a gift, part of the magic of our lives is found in the joy of surprise. Trust that your angels have something amazing in store for you, even if they can't quite tell you yet what it is. Remember I was saying I don't be wanting to know sometimes. Let's look at the Magician card. Here are the keywords: act, create, focus, magic, clarity, and intent. Skinny B. This is a time of great power for you. The Manifest card is here to tell you that anything is possible. You have all the tools at your disposal to create whatever you desire. You have a variety of tools that can be put to good use. The ability to love unconditionally, to support, to cherish, to listen, to understand, to forgive, to be kind, to be joyful, and even to be silly. All of these are useful tools in managing affairs of the heart. Take some time to determine what your best tools are so that you can use them to work your own unique brand of magic around relationships. Before using these tools to manifest your desires, take some time to be clear on exactly what you want. A magician is always focused on his or her intent before working magic. You have the ability to manifest what you desire now. So take a moment so there's total clarity. What do you truly need and want? Is it in your highest good? Is it in the highest good of the other person? Will it harm anyone? Magic and manifestation are powerful. And when you come from a place of love, you will generate love. Be clear, be honest in your intent, and take action to manifest your heart's desire. You have what it takes to achieve this. The affirmation is, I use my power to manifest deliberately and with clear intent. So that's what I have for you. That is what we're dealing with the Pluto and Capricorn issue, however that plays out for you. I do hope those messages helped. Until next time, thank you for allowing me to read for you. Namaste.